you basically have this beautiful big fat rail network set up and then a bunch of vehicles moving on it. How do you view technology in terms of,
yeah,
edge behind?
So I think that I think that all the rails are really in the same place, in that none of them, because customers really need information so they can understand and plan for variability. And really nobody is delivering on that, even though the data and the technology is there. If you think about for planning, for planning and to understand variability, you need about 10 years. Rails use at most 2 years and most of the time 3 months to do the majority of their planning and their daily operations. So customers basically need, especially for manifest or anything, when's it going to arrive, when's it going to be down, and what level of accuracy is it going to be to get there so I can plan for my customers. Because the rails are a small part of a large supply chain, but they view themselves as a major part in that supply chain, and that's really where customers really need the communication of variability so they can plan their operations. And if you could communicate your variability or your level of accuracy, hey, I'm going to be like, if I'm a manifest customer, most rails cannot tell me the day I'm going to be pulled or delivered as opposed to plus or minus 2 hours, which is what customers expect. So I'm a customer. I expect you to be here plus or minus 2 hours because that's when a truck can be here. But most manifest customers don't know the day they're going to be delivered or the day that they're going to be picked up, let alone those are going to be correct. And really they have all the data to do that. They just don't want to necessarily do the effort to do it because it's a huge change for them.
That's
I do
interesting.
have a few opinions.
What about?
I do have a few.
Go ahead.
And a lot of it with the forecasting, you don't necessarily need AI or machine learning to do that, because most of the time series will do it just fine.
The other direction to go on technologies is, more for, I would call it internal use, not for customer interface. I think where Mark was going is things like condition-based maintenance, where you can, monitor and predict when you need to service a car versus, do it on a regular schedule. Track and monitor driver behavior and connect them with the dispatcher and so forth. What have you seen that's out there today, and is there an opportunity there as well?
So they've tried that. So both, and this is primarily with the Western rails, with BN and UP using ultrasound to look at basically detect wheels, because any cracks in wheels or hot spots, because that's going to really affect velocity. So I think that they're out there doing that a little bit, but not as much as they could.
Got it.
And so there's definitely opportunity for them to do that. I'm not sure how much appetite that they have to do that. Because again, the rails are kind of looking at the present to what they need to do, as opposed to projecting 3 years into the future what they need to do. Because I think the real question that the rails have not addressed is when you have autonomous trucking, what's going to happen to the manifest business, let alone intermodal.